Okay, I think we may be live, guys. So, how's everyone doing tonight? I'll let a few people join in, and then we'll get started. What's up? What's up? Make sure everybody can hear me okay. Hopefully no glitches tonight. And we'll have some fun on tonight's live. We'll get a few things going. We got 3 people in here. Who's in here? Who's in here? Hopefully I can distract you guys from the lecture for a little bit. Fly ride. Do I have a high 8 camcorder? I don't even know what a high 8 is. I don't know. I don't know what a high 8 is. High 8? I don't know. Don't know. What do you mean, Chris? Jose, what's up, brother? What's going on? Ben, already dropped a like. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate them. Whenever you guys give a thumbs up, it lets YouTube algorithm know that we're doing something decent here. Hanks 2000, hear you fine. He's taking a break from football. I don't know if I want to distract you from football, but hopefully we'll make it entertaining tonight. We'll have some fun. Extreme Mustangs, what's up, man? What's going on, Extreme Mustangs? So we'll let a few people join in, and then we'll get started. Chris from Mr. Large over here saying, okay, you can start. I'm here. All right, we'll start. Chris with Fly Ride, converting old tapes from 10 to 15 years ago to digital. No, I don't. I don't know if you mean like this, because I know this probably, this is working for me fine. Hopefully you guys are okay with this quality, because this is kind of the setup we have right now. Chris, I'm just using my, this is on my iMac. I tried, GoPro has a new feature where you can use your GoPro as a webcam, and I was using it, but it kept crashing and lagging, so I'm just using OBS on just the FaceTime camera on my iMac. Seems to work pretty decent. Everybody can hear me fine. And, the quality is decent for this. Usually I do a screen share anyway, so usually this one ends up getting minimized in a minute here, but it works. Project. You get a thumbs up and a like regardless. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Hank says, enjoying the project videos. Thanks, man. I'm enjoying the process too. It's kind of, for me, it's really, I don't know. I don't even want to say it's that challenging, because I don't know. I guess I'd be big-headed to say it's not challenging, but it's just interesting, right? Like, it's something where I'm having to research the whole process as far as getting that Hellcat motor into the Dakota, and it's like problem solving more than anything. Like the wiring, like, it's just not a straightforward thing. Like, if I were to drop a Magnum engine into the Dakota, it would just be an afternoon or a day or whatever, and it would be done, bing bang boom, done. But I've really taken on a big project, I guess, because it's a lot of having to figure stuff out, and there's not that much documentation on it, or people don't want to share any information on it. And but I do have to give a huge shout out to somebody that I met with the Hellcat swap. I don't know if he'll end up watching this live or if he may be in here, but he on Instagram, he goes by the Instagram name Hell National. He's got a Grand National with a Hellcat swap in it. He's been a lot of help. He's been, we chatted the other night about Hellcat swaps and stuff like that, and we were kind of just bouncing some ideas off each other and some different information and stuff, and he's super cool. He's out on the East Coast, but yeah, I enjoy meeting people like that, like just solid car dudes that just, want to talk shop or whatever, and just, they're not afraid to share information. You guys know on this channel, like, I'm an open book. I tell you exactly what I'm doing. I tell you how to do it. If you guys want to, replicate any of the builds that I do, like, you guys are more than welcome to. Like, I'm not trying to keep secrets, which I do find is kind of the case. And even he was commenting, Hell National was commenting on the same thing. He said when he was doing his Hellcat swap, everybody's trying to keep it a secret. They're not trying to be helpful. They don't want you to do it. They think it's some sort of, you know, black magic or voodoo thing, the whole Hellcat swap. But it's cool to actually like, you know, connect with people that are on the same page and, you know, they're trying to be helpful with the whole process. So, yeah, we'll talk more about that. I'm like, I have some huge news coming for you guys next week. So we got some good stuff happening with the channel, you guys. So I do wanna. I'm gonna wait till next week to announce that, but we got a new sponsor on the channel, and they hooked it up huge. So I can't wait till that stuff gets here, and I can, you know, announce it and do it all officially. But we're in good shape, boys. I've been sharing the project with different people, and it seems like a lot of people are enjoying this project, or you know what's to come. So it's cool too. Like I like working with different companies, ones that'll help us. I can help them, you know, make their products known, and you guys already know. Like I'll kick it with you guys 100%. Like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it's something that helps us and can help you guys, I'm 100% behind it. So again, huge sponsor announcement next week. So I'm just waiting for all the stuff to get here, and I just don't want to say something and then, you know, nothing's here. I want to actually show you guys. So once everything arrives, I'll announce that sponsor. But it's gonna be awesome, guys. I'm so anxious to just tell you, but I gotta keep my composure, guys, and I'll wait till next week to tell you about it. Let's see. Where am I at with these comments? Extreme Mustang. He said Mr. Large. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get this live demonetized or something or deleted. So I'm trying to keep it PG up in here. I gotta watch some of this stuff. Jay Yodi, let me run the Viper 40 roll. You're not even in CA, man. You're not even in CA. Are you? I think you're spraying on your 5.0, right? The Viper's pretty quick. It's not the quickest car I've owned, but it's for running 5 pounds on boost. It moves. I don't know how competitive it is. I would be curious to strap it to a dyno one day and see what she's actually making. But I want to do a bit more to the Viper. I think she's still got more in her. But I mean, right now it's safe. It's conservative, but I think I still want more. I got to do that rear end gear change, so I do have another differential for the Viper. I gotta put new bearings in it. That whatever it takes transmissions, they supplied us with a new bearing and seal kit for the differential. So if you guys don't know, or if you haven't been around with the channel for a while, I have two differentials, two complete pumpkins for the Viper. One's the stock like 307 gear, which is in the Viper right now. I had to put it back in. And I have a Mopar Performance differential with 373 gears in it. And I put it in the car. It was brand new when I bought it, but it was sitting on a shelf for like 20 years. So I guess the bearings were all maybe dried out, or maybe they're a little bit pitted or something from sitting on a shelf dry. I don't know what the case was, but I put it in. It was in the car for maybe a year and a half or so, and then the bearings started making some noise. Not gear whine, but like the bearings. So, because you can take like I don't want to call them half shafts, but the output shafts on the diff, and they got a ton of play in it. Like the bearings just got cooked for some reason. So, and it started like puking out a little bit of oil. So I gotta rebuild that and put that 373 back in there. Once I put the 373 back in there with boost, we'll be in pretty good shape on the Viper. So it's not gonna, you know, break the internet, but she'll be pretty quick. Fly Ride Chris, you're good. I'm converting my old footage. Damn, that must be some old ass footage. But yeah, that would be cool if you convert it. That'd be sweet. Extreme Mustangs, love that SRT10 truck. Yeah, a lot of people are down with the SRT10 these days. I gotta do a bit more with it for you guys. I mean, we just got so much stuff on the go right now. I'll get into some timeline stuff as far as what we're gonna do. The SRT10, I want to get some more footage for you guys, some better sound clips and stuff with the electric exhaust cutouts. As you guys know, I put dual electric exhaust cutouts on the SRT10. And we did the install, so there was an install video, but I want to get some sound clips for you guys, proper ones, because it sounds beast right now. And then I may have some headers coming for the SRT10. We'll know in another day or so. And what else? Huge sponsor announcement. Tripping on my words. Huge sponsor announcement next week. And tomorrow, Jason's coming up to work on his RT, so we're gonna try to button up some loose ends on the black Dodge Dakota RT that you guys know about. So I wanna wrap that up. That way we can do some testing, and you guys can finally see, the results of doing all that work. So if you guys are new to the channel or you don't remember, it's Jason's truck is a 5.9. We left the short block alone. We put heads on it. It's got Indy X heads, stiffer valve springs. I think it's 1.7 roller rockers, and custom grind cam from FRP, a boost cam. So it's already running, but we haven't shown how well it works. Oh, and it's got Spin-Tech headers and Hughes air gap on it. So we haven't gone and done any pulls on it because it's not really roadworthy just yet. And tomorrow we're going to be working on it, so I'll have a bunch of Dakota content for you guys coming this week, because we're going to put on, he's got those new, what the heck is the name of them now? He told me, but I forgot. You guys probably know. So there's somebody from Canada, I think they made control arms, custom control arms for the Dakota platform, upper and lower control arms. So he's got those control arms, and I don't think anybody's documented them yet, but we're going to be installing them hopefully on his truck tomorrow. So we're going to put those new control arms on his. We're going to, I think we have to look at the back end, because the back end of the truck is, there was something weird with the way it was sitting. So we're going to look into that. We're putting an AEM wideband on there, because he has what the heck is the name of the one he's got on there? I think it's Innovative. I think he's got an Innovative wideband on there, but it's not working. So we'll change that, and then his truck will be on the road. We're going to show you guys it naturally aspirated once we kind of clean up the tune a bit. And his truck, he's down to take it to the drag strip, so we'll get footage and content and get to see what that thing runs naturally aspirated. And then the plan is, I think, to put the Pro Charger kit that was on my truck, that's going to eventually go on his truck, but he's going to get a different blower for it. So he's going to get, I think, a D1X or D1SC Pro Charger instead of the P1SC that we had. So he's going to put a bigger blower with the supercharger kit that I had. It's actually his kit, but we just had it on my truck. We're going to put it on his truck, since he's got a boost cam and he's got the free-flowing heads and he's got Spin-Tech headers. So his should make, I don't know, maybe 500 horse or so, give or take, maybe 455. So it'll be a decent runner. Yeah, so we have all that content coming for you guys as well. And what was the other thing I was going to tell you too? Yeah, I mean, we just got so many different projects on the go. I do want to get the 3rd gen LED lighting for you guys. I don't know if there's any 3rd gen guys watching this live, but I do want to do that for you guys. So I'm going to do the rest of the LED conversion on that truck. I'm going to do all the back lights. And what other, I should ask you guys, let's put a question out there. What other content do you guys want to see or are interested, or questions to do with the Hellcat swap in itself? We can answer them here as well, but is there any specific videos you guys want me to do? I think I've covered quite a bit of stuff. I think there's one other video that I need to make. So if you guys haven't seen today's video, I show you guys all the modules that are on the whole Hellcat harness. And I walk through it step by step. I tell you what, show you the module and tell you what it does and what it is. But I think there's still probably one more video to make, and I just don't know whether to do it with the engine sitting on the ground or whether to wait till the engine is sitting in the truck properly, because the last video or information that we need is what modules are needed to make the engine run in the truck or in anything, and it's in a swap. So there's a lot of misconception on what you do and don't need, and not a lot of clear information on what modules you need so that the engine will continue to run or will run in one of these vehicles, swap vehicles. So I don't even know that answer. Nobody's really documented that answer, and I think that's something really important that we have to do. So I'm just more thinking, I don't want to fill that whole engine full of fluids just to have it sit on the pallet, just to have to drain all the fluids back out of it. That's just my whole thing. So I was thinking maybe we wait till we get the engine in the truck and fill it with fluids. That way I can start it and actually have it running, rather than just starting it for 5 seconds and then shutting it down. But Let me know which way you guys prefer it. Do you guys want me to, show you all the modules while they're laid out on the floor? Or do you think we should put the engine in and then, discuss which modules are needed to have it running? So obviously we could just leave every single one of it, but I want to try to, trim the fat on the harness, since you guys already know the Charger is a much bigger car and we don't have as much room in the Dakota to stuff, as many modules. So yeah, that's that. And let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Mr. Large, would you buy the new Corvette Spider or buy a Gen 5 Viper? I would get the Gen 5 Viper. Because I just think, I don't know. You guys already know I prefer the Viper. The new Corvette's nice, the C8, but the Viper is definitely more rare and more unique, which I kind of lean in that direction. I think the new Z06 is going to be badass, though, when that comes out. Joshua, love hearing your news on the second channel. Thanks, man. Yeah, if you guys don't know, we have a second channel that I put alternate content over there, maybe stuff that's not as mainstream, or stuff that's not as relevant to what we're doing on the main channel. Some stuff I am kind of posting on both the main channel and the other channel, just to kind of experiment. I do feel like our videos don't get recommended as much as other channels. Like, some guys will just throw a video up and it gets recommended a lot. I think that our videos do well, and I think it's good content, but for whatever reason, YouTube on this channel, this main channel that you guys are on right now, it doesn't get recommended to people that are into, Mopar or Dodge or Hellcat or stuff like that. It just, the audience and the views that we get are within our own little community or subscriber base. I don't think it ever gets pushed outside of that, and I don't have any control over that. So that's what I'm experimenting with, posting on the other channel. So if you guys can support me on both channels, it would be appreciated. I'm just waiting for one of them to kind of take off, whatever one that is. I don't care. I just, some of these people don't even put tags or nothing on their videos, and they just go to the moon. So they get, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views, and they're not even hashtagging or tagging anything. I don't get where YouTube gets its, selection or how it makes its picks, but just luck of the draw, I guess. Extreme Mustangs, bring that car to GTR Hippo? GTR HIPO in Rancho Cucamonga. Put it on the dyno. Yeah, maybe. I don't know how much it would cost for some poles, but I would be down if it's reasonable. Joshua, the LED on the garage was nice too. Which one did I do? The LED on the garage. Which LED video did I do on the garage? Oh, yeah. The house LEDs, yeah. So if you guys don't know, I've got two other channels, or actually more than that, but two other channels that I really post to. I got some older ones I don't really do anything with, but the one called the garage, I do like stuff around the house, LED lighting, like the bright lighting that you guys can see in here and stuff. Rent out of the patio, and then the other Boosted Motorsports channel, we kind of do some other stuff too. Let me jump to the other screen. I can show you guys the other channel at the same time, and then I'll link it for you guys. Let me switch to this one. Okay. So I'll show you guys the other two channels, and then I'll link them for you guys so you guys are aware of them. So there's other content on there you guys may have not seen. Like I said, I posted on both just so that in case there's any preference, that we're covering both bases. Let me make sure you guys can see my screen, and you can. Okay. So it's called Boosted Motorsports 2, and I'll send you guys a link to it. So here's the other channel. It's got like 2,000 subscribers pretty much. I'll link it for you guys right now, but it's got a ton of other content on there. Like you can see, if you guys don't know, I posted how much I paid for the Hellcat swap on the other channel, just because I was curious if, like I said, if there's any bias on these channels. Like, it's kind of a weird gig, right? So you can see there's only like less than 2,000 people subscribed to this channel. And I posted how much the Hellcat swap cost 2 days ago, and it's got like 3,000 views. Versus on my main channel, we've got like 55,000 subscribers, and I might only get like a few thousand views. Like, I don't know if people aren't getting the notifications or what's going on, but that is out of my control, boys. I can only do so much. So there, I just linked the Boosted Motorsports 2 channel. So if you guys aren't following that one, Subscribe to both until one takes off, you guys. Let's if you guys can do me a favor, just subscribe to both channels. I'll post on both of them. I'll keep the builds, like the the episodes, on one channel or the other, but just that's the reason why I'm posting on both, is because for some reason I feel like it hasn't it hasn't taken off the way it should or could. So that's that, and then I'll show you guys the other channel that I have. It's a little bit harder to find because it's not that big yet. The garage, I'll just put the garage LED, it should come up. See, I don't even, let's see, the garage, no. And this one's a small channel, so it's even harder for me to find, so I'll link it for you guys. I can't even see it there. Oh, I know how to find it. I did some surveillance, there we go. So I did some surveillance reviews and stuff like that, and those seem to do well. So this one's got like 1,000 subscribers, the garage. I just made this one. It's got like some tool reviews, stuff around the house. I fixed my patio and stuff like that. So I'll link that one for you guys too. Like I said, if you guys can support me on both, or at least the other Boosted Motorsports channel. If you guys don't want to follow the other one, that's perfectly fine. But at least if you guys are into the car stuff, make sure you're subscribed to the other channel that has to do with the Boosted Motorsports stuff. And let me catch up to you guys in the comments here. Answer some of your guys' comments. Brian says, how much do you want for your ECU PCM from the 5.9? I think that might be the one thing that I do keep, because reason being, I'm not going to really get anything for it, I don't think. It might be worth, what, a couple $100 or something. And I'd rather keep it, since my HP tuners, I've already paid for the credit for my HP tuners device on that PCM. So, I already have the credit for the HP tuners on that. It's already VIN coded to my VIN on my vehicle. Like, I'd rather just keep it for now. But yeah, we're selling the engine out of the truck because I don't have the space or the reason to keep all these engines kicking around. If you guys don't know, I have two 5.9 engines, and I have two 46RE transmissions. I don't want to make this live a for sale ad, but I'm just letting you guys know what I have. So I've got a bunch of stuff that I am going to be selling, since we're going full Hellcat. I don't want to be, I don't want to start a junkyard here, so I need to get rid of this stuff. The 5.9 I can sell cheap is stock long block, but you guys know I shut it down because it had low oil pressure, and I saw a little bit of glitter in the oil, but it runs. It doesn't make any noise, there's no knocking, but I just shut it down because I saw low oil pressure. So if you guys want a 360 that you guys can, rebuild for cheap, I'll probably only sell that long block for a few $100 if you guys want it for a project. And I also have a 46RE that came on the engine that's in my truck. I haven't tested it, I don't know the history on it, but it's got a brand new torque converter on it. You guys probably saw it, that big purple one. And I'll give you, if you guys need a 46RE, I'll give you the unknown mileage 46RE with the purple torque converter. If you guys want it, throw me a few $100 and it's yours. So only expensive thing is the engine that's in my truck, because you guys know there's a lot of money, not a lot of money, but significant amount of money in that engine. The M1 intake, it's got the 4-barrel to 2-barrel adapter, it's got a bored out throttle body, it's got a cam, valve springs and all that stuff. So the engine's going to be worth more that's in my truck. But if you guys are looking for stuff on the cheap, I've got that 5.9 that you guys can have for cheap, or a 46RE, which is probably perfectly fine. It came off the running engine that's in my truck, but I just haven't tested it personally. So if you guys are interested in that, DM me, get a hold of me, whatever you guys want. But let me switch over to some of your comments and catch up to you guys again. Joshua said the new intro is awesome. Thanks, man. I think from here forward, I'm just gonna try to refine some of the videos a little bit. In the past, I guess there's nothing wrong with doing it either way, but in the past, I've kind of just, I've been more content-based and value-based versus like polished editing and all that stuff. I don't know. That was just my take on the thing. But I think there is some value in refining the videos a little bit more, taking a little bit more time to put background music in it. I've done it before, and I'm obviously capable of it. It just takes a little bit longer. So With me trying to do daily videos, sometimes I'm just working so much that I'm just, I'll just edit the videos and, put them out there. But I think it's probably a better move for me to spend a bit more time on the editing. You guys saw that I put the new intro on there, and try to give you guys a bit more polished video with, some background music, just so it's a little more entertaining, I guess. But I appreciate it, man. Me and Jonathan filmed the intro, so once the Hellcat motor is in the truck, we'll probably have to redo the intro again. Extreme Mustangs, have you thought about putting a cam into the truck, SRT, so the SRT 10? Not really, honestly. Since that's like a super limited edition truck, I'm not really going to tinker with it too much. Maybe some small bolt-ons. I think, honestly, I would probably put a blower on the SRT 10 Ram before I opened up the motor, just because it's a little bit easier to bolt up and take off if I wanted to. The cam's getting pretty deep, but it would be nasty with a cam, don't get me wrong. But we got so many other projects on the way. It's like, yeah, we got a lot of stuff on the go. Patrick, what's up, man? What's going on, Patrick? Ben, it's a good night for me. Worked this AM. I get to sleep in tomorrow. Played some Call of Duty earlier on Xbox. Then some pancakes for dinner. Damn, I haven't even had dinner yet. Now I get to watch a boosted stream. How about you, John? Pretty good night for me. I made that video for you guys, so the one that's, if you guys haven't seen the video or the upload for today, I filmed that today, edited it today, and uploaded it today. So I was busy doing that. I wanted to, revised the tune slightly for the Viper. So there was a couple fueling areas that I wanted to clean up, and I just changed it myself, and I was going to load it to the Viper and go try it, but I ran out of time. And then now it's, now it's sprinkling outside or misting, and then it's supposed to rain all weekend, so I didn't get a chance to try that, but I wanted to do that. I haven't even had dinner yet because I was running around like a maniac and then trying to get to this live that I committed to. So we're good though. I'll eat after this, but still a good night. Brian, can't remember, but is your trans on the 5.9 built or is it stock? It's stock. So it's just stock, and it's got the transmission tune on it from Flying Ryan. So it's got like firmer shifts on it, but the transmission itself is stock. As far as my knowledge, I mean, I didn't do anything to it, but maybe somebody else did. It works really well. The transmission that's in my truck, the fluid is like crystal clear red. You guys already know that I've been, taking it to the drag strip and stuff, and it shifts perfectly and beautifully. But I don't know if somebody else refreshed it before I got the truck, but it works great and it doesn't slip, and yeah, no issues. Hinks, how many modules can you unplug and it still start? I don't have that answer yet. That's kind of the video I want to make. Joshua, can't wait until the Hellcat is in the Dakota and running. Me too, man. The thing is going to be a monster. I cannot wait either. Extreme Mustangs, what's your viewer average time? If it's low, it won't push your video to other people. It's not so much a time thing. As far as I know, it's usually a percentage. So if you make, for example, and this is kind of getting a little off topic for our automotive stuff, but if you make a 10-minute video on YouTube, usually the videos that do well are the ones that people watch most of the video. So for example, if you made like a 30-second video and people watch all 30 seconds of that, YouTube is going to promote that video more. So I usually try to make like, 8 to 10 minute video. I try to keep it a little bit shorter. Just because people's attention spans, I guess, are not that long these days. So usually if you're over about 50% retention rate, so if they watch 50% of the video or more, it's usually pretty decent in YouTube's eyes, but more the better. But it's not so much the time, it's more the percentage that people watch the entire thing for. So I'm usually around 50% or more, which is pretty decent number for YouTube, that people are watching more than half of the actual minutes that you've uploaded. But I don't know, it just doesn't get promoted the way I was hoping, but it is what it is. I'm still alright with it, but it doesn't matter. We got some support. Like I said, if you guys are just tuning in just now, big sponsorship announcement next week that I'm excited to show you guys and tell you guys about, but next week I'll let you guys know that one. Next question. Joshua says, help John out. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Patrick, do you have an outline for the Hellcat install yet or a plan of attack? Let's talk about that a little bit. So, as far as plan of attack, I guess I can get some of your guys' opinions. So the way I kind of have, there's a couple different approaches we can take with this. Obviously, regardless, the engine needs to run in the Dakota. That's the simple answer. Where this build could take two different directions is full-blown race truck, or still, a race truck and a fast truck, but have all the amenities that you guys see of the 2019 vehicle. So I'm kind of leaning towards, I guess this way, since we went this way with the amenities, I'm leaning towards making this thing, obviously we're going to make it stupid fast. It's going to be stupid fast. But how cool is that going to be to have, the keyless entry, remote starts, all the touch screen, the gauge cluster, like all that stuff working in the Dakota, and convert that truck to a 2019 version essentially. That's, and we're going to change the dash out with all the touchscreen stuff. So, and the other thing too, a major thing, is putting the center console in there with the shifter and putting the steering column in there with the paddle shifters and the whole touch or buttons on the steering wheel and all that stuff, and having it working. So that's where I think that stuff, I'm not worried about putting the engine in the truck and getting it running. That, honestly, I think, I'm not trying to, brag or anything, but I think I could do that, just that part alone. I could have that done in a week. But to do the other side of it is the stuff that's going to take more time. And the reason I say that is because the entire Dakota dash, with everything that's underneath the dash, and the heater core, the AC components that are in the dash, the blower motor, the dash support, all of that stuff has to come out. And then I have to customize and fabricate everything underneath the dash that came out of the charger. So that's where I want to do it. I just know it's going to take longer, because the other thing is, I think the motor is going to have to go in and out a couple times. I'm going to put the motor in, make sure it all, sits fine and everything, and then I think the motor is going to come out. And the reason being is, if I'm going to put a charger dashboard in there, which is kind of my plan right now, I already measured it. I don't think I've ever told you this, but when I was at the wrecking yard, they're going to give me a Dodge Charger dashboard, and it is about, what was the measurement on it? Anyways, whatever the measurement was, it's only like, I think 3 or 4 inches wider than the Dakota. So what I was going to do is I was going to bring it in. I think it ended up being like bringing it in like 1.5 inches on each side. So we're going to chop the edges of the dashboard, and I'm going to put that dashboard into the Dakota. And the other thing I'm going to have to do is the whole support frame for the dash, I'm going to have to put that into the Dakota and get that all situated. So that is what's going to take more time. And I want to put all of the HVAC, the heating and cooling from the charger into the Dakota. And I'm going to have to cut out the different areas on the firewall where the charger stuff goes through and then connects to the engine. So that's the stuff that I think is going to take longer. Is it going to take forever? Is it going to be like a 6-month project? Probably not. But I just think that in itself is going to take a little more time. So that's the direction I think I want to go with this. It would be cool just to slam the motor in and go have a heyday. But the thing you guys got to remember is once everything, the electrical system that's on the shop floor right now, that is all the electrical, all the fuse boxes, all the relays from the charger. And it gets a little bit hairy if you try to incorporate both. So the plan is, let me just switch screens here so you guys can kind of see me since we're on this view. So the difference being is, if we, this is all new territory. This is all new territory for most people. So you can't have both, right? I'm not going to have the engine harness and all the harness and stuff that are in the Dakota right now and put the charger stuff in there. It's not going to make sense to keep both. So instead, I think the plan is we're going to completely strip the whole wiring harness out of the Dakota, and we're going to essentially transplant the wiring harness from the charger into the Dakota, and I'm going to customize it as we go and dress it in, and I might have to lengthen wires, I might have to shorten wires to get it to where we need it to. So that's what I'm thinking, because I mean it gets so involved, you guys. Like, for example, the steering column, if we take out all the electrical system out of the Dakota right now to put in the Hellcat stuff, like things like your turn signals, that is going to go to a relay in the fuse box that's on the Dakota that we're going to have to take out. All that stuff. When you turn on, not that I have AC, but when you turn on AC, that runs through to the PCM, tells the PCM to turn on the AC compressor, and then the AC compressor turns on through the, wiring harness, right? But all that's going to be, I'm burping over here. All that's going to be missing, right? So that's something that we have to consider, right? And it's just, it keeps going, right? Like things like, if we want to turn the headlights on, that's going to go through relay and through a fuse that's on that fuse box. So that's why it's going to get too complicated to try to run both electrical systems. So I think it's like an all or nothing. So I'm just going to strip all the electrical system out of that whole Dakota. We're going to put all 2019 Charger Hellcat stuff in there and just wire it up as if it's a Hellcat. Because when I was messing around with it today in the garage, for example, the plugs that go to the taillights on the Charger, they're both sitting there, and I could unlock, I could turn the turn signals on, and the power is coming out to those taillights, the plugs for them. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to use that entire electrical system, and we're going to just rewire it to work with the Dakota. Really the only rewire part, once we drop everything in there, take out the steering column, take out the dash, take out the blower motor, everything comes out of the Dakota. And the only things that we're really going to have to wire up from the old wiring harness are probably going to keep the pigtails that go to the taillights and the pigtails that go into the headlights. Like, that's it pretty much. Everything else is going to be completely stripped. Even the fuel pump is going to be, different, because we're going to have to customize our fuel pump to be with the Hellcat stuff. So I think that's the way to go, guys. I think if we try to keep the electrical system that's in the Dakota right now and then try to add a Hellcat wiring system to it, it's going to be a nightmare. So I'd rather just strip everything out. Like I said, I'm going to have to make new holes in the firewall for all my heating and cooling to come through. And we'll just go that way. And then the subframe that goes underneath the dash, I'm going to have to modify that so that it can fit into the Dakota, and that's going to support our steering column and all that stuff. It'll support our dash, our touch screen. I think that's the way to go. It's going to be a lot more work. The project's going to take a little bit longer, but that's the only way that I can think of that makes sense. The only other way to do it, like I mentioned, is if you went the other way, like did a standalone computer or the Mopar Performance Crate PCM, and you just wire that up to your TAC, the stock Dakota TAC. But I think since we have so much of the other stuff, I think it's better just to go the other way, and we'll get all the amenities and stuff from 2019. But that was a lot to talk about, but hopefully you guys are on the same page. I'm gonna catch up because you guys are getting way too far ahead of me with the comments. Let's see. Mr. Large, how's the cordless ratchet working? Does the battery last? Yeah, that thing works awesome. If you guys haven't seen, I finally broke down and got a electric ratchet. Everybody's been dogging me about not using air tools or power tools. And the reason being is most of the time I don't like running the compressor when I'm filming, because the compressor comes on at any moment when I'm talking or when I'm trying to say something, or it just decides to come on if I'm filming something, and it's just, you guys know, an air compressor comes on and it runs for, several minutes before it shuts off. So, plus the air tools are stupid loud. So I ended up getting an electric ratchet that I reviewed on the other channel if you guys haven't seen it. And I haven't had to change the battery once. It's still on the original battery, so I would say battery life is great. And it came with 2 batteries. Doc, how much for those small mirrors and a transmission? Mine's starting to let go. Hit me up. Like I said, email me or direct message me. And yeah, I have a set of mirrors. So I have a I also have a set of mirrors if anybody else is wondering too. And I have a set of doors too. I have 2 Dakota doors, full doors, if anybody needs doors for whatever reason. Brian, is the stock PCM on the 5.9 locked? I heard they are almost impossible to tune unless you get an aftermarket one or figure out how to unlock the PCM. I don't think that's true. We've tuned 2 of them now, and no issues. So the newer stuff, like for example, the one that's on the Hellcat, that one is 100% locked. So I'm gonna have to send that one over to HP Tuners. They're gonna unlock it, and then we'll be able to tune that one later in the future. But I don't think the Dakota stuff is locked. Mine wasn't locked, and Jason's truck wasn't locked. So Nathan, what's up from Texas? What's up, Nathan? Christopher, how much horsepower does the RT Dakota set up? Because I plan on building my 5.2 Magnum in my 4x4. Well, I have a 5.9, so it's going to make a little bit more than your 5.2. Yeah, one of the things, and you guys already know my opinion on this, is I hate to say it, but the Magnum platform is not the best platform to make power affordably. So I've had this conversation actually a few times today, but if you're looking to shatter records and stuff like that, and make a ton of power, you're gonna spend a lot of money on a Magnum to accomplish that goal. But I mean, it's not to say you can't make it faster or can't make it more fun. It's just I think realistically, if I had to just shoot in the dark on what my 5.9 makes with stock heads, with the cam and intake, I would say, I don't know, somewhere in the 300s at the crank. It's not like anything crazy. If you do the same stuff to an LS, I know everybody hates bringing up LS, but fact of the matter is, I was talking to Whatever It Takes Transmissions today, one of our sponsors on the channel, and there's a guy that works there. He has he's got a Corvette, and a C5 Corvette. He's just got a 5.3 in it, stock long block with stiffer valve springs, hardened push rods, and he fabbed up his own twin turbo kit, and he's just running E85 on it, and he's got obviously a bigger fuel pump. Guess how much power he's making on a stock long block? 720 horsepower at the wheels in a fiberglass C5 Corvette. And that's on a stock engine. Like, these LS guys have it so easy compared to this Magnum stuff. If it wasn't such sacrilege to put an LS into a Dodge product, I would probably just LS swap the Dakota. It would have cost way less than the Hellcat swap. But everybody, it's easy to do because it's really cheap to do. So I'd rather just, stick to the Mopar stuff. The Hellcat definitely is the more fun or cooler setup than an LS. But you guys, I know we're mostly Mopar guys over here, but you cannot knock the LS platform for bang for your buck. So yeah, that's one of the things. Like, we've thrown a bunch of money at that 5.9 Magnum. It woke it up, but it's not. You guys saw, like, it wasn't going crazy fast at the track last day, but it sounds rowdy, and it's definitely got some pep in its step, but it's not like anything to, it's not going to smack up on everything all of a sudden. Who's next here? Ben, the Hellcat engine coming alive was awesome, but I'm also curious as to how you can get the door chimes or door ajar to turn off with the door in the current setup. So one thing to note about that is I have the wiring harnesses for all 4 doors, so I'm going to hook that stuff up, and in my attempt to get everything working and running, I plugged the doors in. As soon as, for whatever way it's wired, when you plug the door in, it senses that it's open. When the door harness is unplugged, it senses that it's not open, or it thinks it's not open. So as long as I leave the door harnesses unplugged, it shouldn't chime. I mean, I guess some people got a little more, I don't know. I don't think there was that many. There was a couple people on the videos that were absolutely upside down about the door chime while I was filming the video. I don't think it really mattered. I think the content's still good, but yeah, some people were so mad that the doors were chiming, but I think people need to relax. I think the Rona's got everybody up in arms and tense. Or maybe it's the election. Maybe one of the two. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't really bother me, but apparently some people were flipping their socks on the door chime. But yeah, we'll get it sorted out on the actual car. Only thing is, because there's gonna be so many modules and things that aren't gonna be fully operational, like active dampening. So the Hellcat has electronic suspension to on the shocks. So we're not going to be running that on the Dakota. So I don't know if that's going to be completely flipping out. Is the thing. I don't know if it's going to be like completely flipping out and like chiming the whole time. If it is, I'm going to have to take apart the gauge cluster and take that chime out of there. I just don't know. And the other thing too is like the restraint system, so all the airbags and all that stuff. If that thing is going to be chiming the whole time, then I'm going to have to take that little chime or beeper out of there. So we'll see. I'm not too worried about it. We'll come up with a solution once we cross that bridge. My emails. Let's start this one off right. Everyone go hit the thumbs up. Yes, sir. Cam, thank you for joining in. But everyone give me one of these if you're here. We got 41 people, 24 likes. That means people are being stingy and need to give me one of these. So thank you, Cam, for reminding everybody. Cam, you gotta come out here, man. You gotta come see this Hellcat swap. It's getting a little hectic over here. But yeah, you gotta come out. Nathan, have all the accessories, even the HVAC. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. More work, but I think it's gonna be worth it in the end. Nathan said, what about the Hellcat seats? The seats, if you guys remember the car or saw the car from all the videos, the seats were absolutely demolished. So those seats were in ugly shape, and I didn't really want to even touch them because they were, if you guys remember the sticker on the car, it said biohazard. It was kind of nasty in that car. So they offered the seats to me if I wanted them, but they were like twisted all the hell. Like even the structure of the seat was all jammed in, and I didn't really want to touch them. They were gross, guys. So the other thing too is the Hellcat seats, the back of them is like this thick, and since this Dakota is a single cab, the stock seats are only like this thick, the backrest on them, and there's not much room in there. I'm not even like the tallest, biggest guy, and like you have to sit, like you can't really adjust the seat at all. If I put those Hellcat seats in there with like the backrest, it's like 8 inches thick. It would be like driving like a clown car like this. So I'm probably going to leave the stock seats in there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the Hellcat seats are nice, but just as far as room goes, I don't think there's a space in there. We are going to put the center console and everything else in there, though. Ben, I say you try to get as many amenities in there as you can, because that would be cool. Yeah, I think we're on the same page. It's going to be a lot of work, but we'll get it done. We will get it done. MG42, yo, Mon. What's up, Mon? Tank. Show toes player. I don't know what that's all about. I'm going to skip that comment. Lamar, what's poppin'? What's up, Lamar? Patrick. Yeah, your plan sounds like the way to go. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, like I said, I haven't decided just yet, but I think the engine's going to be coming out next week. This week coming. We got some stuff to take care of before, right now, if you guys do or don't know, the Dakota's kind of my daily driver. So if I rip apart the Dakota, I'm going to be back to driving the S2000 daily again, which is okay. It's just S2000 daily was pretty intense, but I do want to try to get a daily driver, like some sort of normal truck soon, but I'm trying to sell the S2000, cash out of that, get a normal daily driver truck. At the same time, I'm not a millionaire, and I just dropped a lot of money on the Hellcat swap, so trying to do it in stages here, but I'm kind of tapped out after dropping a ton of coin on that Hellcat swap. If you guys haven't seen that video, it's on the other channel. Maybe I should put it up. Put it up if you guys haven't seen it. I'm sure there's a bunch of you guys that probably haven't seen it. Let me go back for a minute. Let me go back. So let me just put this here. Okay. Okay. So I'll show you guys. I'll leave this up so you guys can see it. So here's the other channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to our backup channel, you can see the second video. It says how much does the Hellcat swap cost. So I already disclosed how much I spent on it. So go check out that video. Go subscribe to their channel. Like I mentioned earlier in this live, we'll be posting to both channels. And if you guys like home stuff too, we got the garage channel as well. What else? Mighty Mouse. John has enough spare parts to make one whole extra Dakota. Pretty much, man. It's turning John's junkyard over here. I gotta get rid of some junk. You never know. Sometimes you end up using stuff or needing stuff, and I've been in that situation before where you throw something out and then it seems like right after you decide to toss it, you need it again. But we're getting a little too intense here. I got way too many parts here, so we're gonna be liquidating some stuff here real soon, boys. Doc, do you have the door panels on the door, and are they electric windows? I bought a door panel, but it has a hole for the manual windows. No, I don't have the door panels. I just have the actual doors. I think you're talking about the Dakota doors that I have. Just the doors, not the panels. Top 5. How did you find the Hellcat motor? Kind of a weird story. I don't want to create drama, so I'm probably not going to disclose the whole story, but it was local. I found it. I was trying to buy it. I put it out there that I was looking for one, and I ended up finding it at this, at the Record, BB's. You guys saw it. There's no secrets to it. I bought it from BB's LS3 auto dismantler. So they're a wrecking yard. They buy cars from the auction, and they sell the parts and stuff. So yeah, I went there. Spoke with the owner and made a deal. Told him what I was gonna do. Told him that I want everything. And I don't know how many people actually go to a wrecking yard and say I want everything. So I think he was a little bit in shock of what I was trying to accomplish. But I showed up, had a conversation. Told him I'm serious. We talked a little bit, left him a deposit, and here we are today. So yeah, I just really hunted. Once I decided I was doing it, I just started hunting for them. Like I said, it took me a few tries before I found the place that I ultimately bought it from. Because like I mentioned in another video, I mentioned in the video where I talked about the price, the one that's up on the screen here. When I talked about the price of it, I ran into at least two Hellcat swaps that I'm pretty sure they were hot. So and they were on eBay. So I saw a couple that were on eBay, and yeah, once I kind of did a bit of investigation, something seemed a little bit fishy, and the price was too good to be true. So that's why I found it at an actual wrecking yard. I confirmed it. If you guys have been on car-part.com, you can search every single wrecking yard, and if they have an engine or something, it'll show on car-part.com. It's free to use. I'm not endorsed by them, but it's something that I do use to find parts. So yeah, I found it at that yard and made a deal. But yeah, like when people are like, oh, maybe he paid 10 grand or maybe he paid 12, for a complete car, like that's not that much money. That's pretty cheap. If you guys thought that I paid like 10 or 12 grand for the whole car with the electrical system, something would be fishy if I told you guys I paid that much. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen how much I paid, it's on that video. Next question. Brian, sup bro? I like the build you doing. Thanks, man. I think it's a fun one. It should be pretty cool. You guys already know I'm serious, committed, and I don't BS on this channel. I told you guys I was going to do a Hellcat swap, and here we are. So I definitely dropped a ton of coin on this one, so I'm hoping you guys enjoy it. Hoping you guys give me one of these and support the build, support the channel any way you can. Pick up some merch, hit the join button. This build is going to set me back quite a bit, you guys. So all your support is appreciated, or share the videos with friends. We'll get the channel to pop off. Whatever you guys can do, whether it's, like I said, something that's free and simple as giving the thumbs up, sharing the videos with your friends. Doesn't cost you anything, but it does help me and help the channel. Or if you guys want to support, click the join button. There's a couple packages there. And I send you guys some Team Boosted Motorsports stickers, along with a bunch of other stickers, a whole care package with a windshield banner depending on which package you guys choose when you click the join button. So bunch of options, however you guys want to support me and support the build, but everything is appreciated, you guys. Or even if you might have a part that we need for the build, if you guys can, donate something towards the build, like I'll shout you guys out, whatever. But yeah, we definitely dropped a pretty coin on this one. So next question. Tristan Anderson. This is my buddy from way back home from growing up in teenage years. The door chime wasn't not annoying, but it's still a good video. I know. I don't know. I think I was just in such like, so anxious and excited to start the engine that I almost didn't even notice the door chime, but apparently a few other people did. Billy said chimes need to die. Yeah, I know, right? Arden Nielsen. So you planning on putting that motor in a truck? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, if you haven't seen all the videos, it explains it. But we're putting the Hellcat motor into the Dakota RT. It weighs like 3,800 pounds, give or take. And I don't know if you guys know off the top of your head. I haven't researched it, but I do think that I want to say that I think the Hellcat motor is going to be lighter than the Magnum. I know that the Magnum heads weighed like 70 pounds each or something silly, whereas because they're cast iron, right? And the heads on the Hellcat are aluminum, so I think that's probably a weight savings right there. And then I don't know how much the supercharger weighs. Obviously, it's probably going to weigh more than the M1 intake, but who knows? Maybe you guys know. I haven't researched it, but just guessing. Brian, what about that rear end? As far as the back of the truck, it's got the RT rear end in it, 9.25. I'm gonna see if I can source out some beefy parts for it and see how long she'll survive. I think I'm gonna go that route. It is a pretty good rear end, honestly. It's a solid axle in the back. I'm gonna have to get a custom drive shaft, and then I'm gonna put some beefed up components in that solid axle. And if it gives us a bunch of issues, if we end up breaking it a bunch of times or something, then we'll maybe go to Ford 9-inch, which people might say don't do it, but I don't know. It's pretty strong, cheap differential, but we'll see. I'll probably hit up whatever it takes and get them to sort us out with some strong components for the rear diff and see how long she lasts. Patcher. Yeah, I just got a great deal on a 98 Dakota SLT 4x4. The guy said the transmission was bad and the steering rack was shot, but all it needed was the steering shaft replaced and the kickdown cable adjusted. Damn, that's alright. Not a bad deal. Christopher, I understand what you mean, but I just ordered custom ported heads, cam, M1 intake, and a few other things. Was just curious as to what horsepower to hope for. Well, you got a 318. I would say at the crank, you might be, I don't know, just shy of 300. It's not, like I said, it's not going to be everything you hope for. You're going to throw a lot more money in parts at the 5.9 or the Magnum platform than you're going to come out with. Easiest way to try to get some power out of a Magnum is throw some boost at it. But that's why we ditched it, unfortunately. Like I said, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you guys, right? That's the reason why we're moving on from 5.9, because I want to go to the track with you guys. I want to make content at the track, but I actually want to win some races, and I don't want to spend stupid copious amounts of money on the Magnum to start winning and start beating some other vehicles. So that's why I'm just skipping right to the chase. We're gonna have the Hellcat motor in there with that transmission that we can beat on all day long. Built for it, designed for it, engineered for it. Transmission will hold it, engine will hold the power, and it's going to be a rocket ship. So, let's see. Billy Boat, club cab for the win. I know, right? As far as like reclining the seat, yeah, club cab. I had a club cab. I had a Intense Blue Pearl one too when I was like 18. Joey, when will you start pulling the Magnum out and start the process? It's gonna be, I think, this week. I want to lean more towards next weekend. Like I said, I have a huge announcement to make next week, and I think it's probably gonna make sense to do it around then. So yeah, once all the parts and all that stuff gets here, I'll, let you guys in on, the new sponsor, and it's going to be pretty exciting, you guys. I'm trying to contain myself here and not spill the beans, but yeah, wait for that stuff to show up, and then you guys will be in for a treat. But like I said, the engine has to come out, Magnum has to come out, Hellcat motor has to go in. We'll test fit it, and then I honestly think Hellcat motor is going to come back out, and then we're going to have to start fiddling with the firewall to cut all the new holes for the HVAC and all that stuff to go through, and the harness and everything. So that's why I think it's going to be a bit of a hot potato, because you got to take the engine out, put the Hellcat motor in, test fit everything, make sure all the clearances are good, take the Hellcat motor back out, start cutting all the holes in the firewall for our PCM harness, all our different harnesses that go through, all the different holes for that have to go through for all of our HVAC stuff, our AC lines, our heater core lines. Cut those holes, probably fill some holes, and then do a bit of body work on the firewall so it doesn't look all haggard. And then I'm probably just gonna try to buy some Intense Blue Pro, and I mean, you guys already know firewalls aren't like the fanciest paint job, so I'll probably do a bit of body work on the firewall once we cut the new holes, fill the old holes, and have it all sorted out. And I'm gonna have to do all the dash and inside. So once we got everything coming through the firewall, then I can probably put the motor back in. So that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a bit of a in and out situation with the engine and transmission once we get to that stage. But we definitely have a lot of work ahead of us, guys. I'm excited. It's just, I wish it was going to be a 1 weekend job or a 1 week job and woo, Hellcat. But it's going to be a bit of a process to do it the way we want to do it. But should be exciting regardless. Brian, are you going to be able to handle all that power? Nope, I'm not going to be able to handle all that power, Brian. I'm a little girl, and it's going to be too much power for me. No, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. It's definitely we're going to have to work on the traction for sure. That's going to be a huge one. Probably going to have to get like a DOT drag radial tire for the street. And then you guys already know we have the Hoosier Slicks, but they're not the widest ones, so we'll probably run those until they get shredded, and then we'll go with some wider, stickier tires, or not stickier, but just bigger, wider tires. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Ray, exhaust for RT Kitty. I mean, it's already got Hellcat exhaust, as you guys know. So I've already got Hellcat mufflers and Hellcat resonators on the Dakota. So I mean, it's just a matter of hooking it all up. But I'll reveal all that stuff this week, you guys. All the stuff we got coming for this Hellcat build, because we've got a ton of stuff on the way right now. So it's ordered, it's in the mail, and I can't wait to show you guys. Brian, I got a 2000 Dakota regular cab 4.7. I can sell you. I got too many Dakotas here, man. We got the RT, my RT, and we got Jason's RT. This is just Dakota world over here. But yeah, we're gonna do it on my my Dakota. So I'm gonna get either a Ram or some sort of normal pickup truck that I'm not gonna mess with too much, because I need something reliable. That's gonna be the next bet or next move. I got too many vehicles. I'm trying to offload the S2000. That way I'm gonna get a normal truck that we can tow with, so that we could tow the Hellcat Dakota to the racetrack, instead of current situation of trying to drive to the track and switch wheels there and all that stuff. So that's the plan. And then I also, once this thing is done, I want to go to a bunch of different events and stuff like that. So that's the plan. That is the plan. Let's see. George says, are you going to use the same rad fan setup on the new build? If not, I'd like to buy it. I'm not far from you in Sun City. Yeah, George, if you're interested in the fan setup, I guess a couple things. If you guys don't know, I have, I think, 2 or 3 more of those same fans, the electric E fan. I have 2 more of them uncut. If you guys remember, I took an electric fan and I cut it, and then I put a controller on it, like an electric fan controller with relay and stuff. So I have 2 brand new untouched fans. You would have to cut them yourself to length and put it on there. So if you guys are interested in the electric fan on your Dakota or Durango or whatever you happen to have, I've got 2 of them. Those high volume fans that have been working great on my Dakota. I've got 2 brand new ones. You guys cut it, do it as you please. And then I will be selling my fan that I cut as well. Unless Jason wants it for his truck. I have to ask him. Maybe tomorrow I'll ask him. He'll get first dibs on it. If he wants it, he can have it. But I do have 2 uncut fans. You guys cut it. You guys modify it to fit your truck. I have those available. So direct message me, private message me, however you want to get a hold of me. But I have 2 of those fans. Mighty Mouse. Winter is here. Where can I pick up one of those Boosted Motorsports hoodies? You should, below this live, it should be a bunch of Teespring links. If not, let me change this. Here we go. Teespring, hold on. Let me go here. Boosted Motorsports Teespring. Oh, Teespring. Can you guys see this? Let me see. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Here we go. Boom. So here you guys go. If you guys don't know, oh, we don't want this lady. What's this lady doing popping up on our feed? So here's all of our merch. Like I said, honestly, you guys, I'm more just happy to have you guys support the channel and, wear some of this merch. I don't really make anything off this. It might give me $1 or $2, each shirt, because I don't handle any of this stuff. So this is a third-party company. They print the stuff, they ship the order, they collect your money. Like I said, I try to lower the price as much as I could, just so you guys are supporting me and can get Boosted Motorsports out there and rep some of this merch. So as you can see, it's like what, $20 for some of these shirts. Like I'm not making anything on it because that company, like look at this shirt, is $15. I'm not making a penny off of most of this stuff. So if you guys can support your boy, grab some merch. We got everything. We've got the single cab Dakota. We've got this new logo, which I think is cool as hell. I'm really liking this new Boosted logo, but right now I have this one on. It is, where is it? This one. I'm wearing this hoodie right now. This is the back of it, so you can see on the back of the shirt. It says life's too short to keep it stock. So that's the back, and here's the front. So that's the one that I'm wearing right now. But yeah, if you guys can support, I appreciate it. I would appreciate it. Let's go back to the main screen here. So yeah, you guys can see all the different merch and stuff. Back to you guys. Thanks, Cam. You reminded me of the merch. Tristan. Roll cage plans, welded in, bolted in. I have to research that. I don't know if anybody makes a bolt-in cage, but I'm probably going to have to weld something in because we're probably going to get kicked out of the track. And honestly, I think I would be more comfortable in the Dakota having a proper cage. So yeah, it's definitely not something I'm going to overlook. It's definitely going to happen, and it's going to have to happen for us to be able to go to the track and actually not get kicked out on our first pass or second pass. But yeah, it's gonna happen. I got so many other stuff to contend with. Like we're gonna worry about getting the engine running and all that stuff, and then once everything's running and together, and the dash and all the other stuff and the amenities and everything's just working, then we'll have to start planning out the roll cage for sure. Christopher, that's my next project. I already have a turbo kit saved in my cart. Just need to get the 318 built and ready to handle boost. You can honestly throw a ton of boost at the 318 or any Magnum. I mean, it's got a iron block, iron heads. It's a pretty stout engine. Just depends whether you're healthy. I think that was one of the issues with my old engine. It wasn't in the best shape, and then we threw boost at it, and that was like the final nail in the coffin for that engine. But yeah, I mean, you can run like 10 pounds on a stock engine. I mean, we're going to do it on Jason's. We'll see how much boost we can throw at that pretty soon. Patrick, are you working on some Hellcat merchandise? I think I am. I got 5 million things on my plate, but I'm definitely gonna try to do something with that. Do you guys think, speaking of Hellcoda and all that, I was talking with my boy Adrian, Sinister Stripes, like, what kind of like badging do you think we should put on this truck? Because obviously it says 5.9 RT on it. Like, I got to take the 5.9 off it, right? Because it's not gonna have 5.9; it's gonna have a 6.2 in it. But what do I put on it? Like, do I take the RT off? It's not. It's gonna be like an SRT technically. I don't want to be a racer, but what would you guys do for badges? I mean, we were laughing. Like, I almost want to put a Hellcat logo on it, just because it makes sense. I mean, it is gonna have a Hellcat engine in there, but it's gonna look like a racer or something. So I'm not gonna put a Hellcat engine or a logo on it. I don't think, just because people are gonna think I'm some sort of poser and just put a logo on my truck that says Hellcat. But I mean, the irony is it's actually gonna be Hellcat powered. But what would you guys do if you're in that situation? Mighty Mouse engine weighs 360 long block with no accessories and manifolds. Has a 500-ish pounds crate weight, so 500 pounds for the engine. Christopher, wish I could send you some pics. I really think you'd like it. Nice. And then Cam says Hellcat with all accessories and intake and a brand new crate is about 600 pounds. Huh. So maybe the Hellcat motor is heavier by sounds of it. Maybe. I wonder what the transmission weighs. That's another one. I think the 8-speed transmission, I think, weighs more than that 46RE, because that 46RE is tiny. Cliffhanger. I bought a Dakota the first year they made them, 97. Dang. Oh, 1987. He's the OG. Cliffhanger's the OG. George, I want one. Alright, hit me up, man. Hit me up. Ooh, Cam with the Teespring link coming in clutch. Thank you, Cam, for posting that up. Thank you, sir. Michael, watching your channel makes me miss my 95 Dakota. Now I'm rocking a 99 Durango, waiting for my spare Dakota engine. Jerry says put V6 badges. I know, right? I know. Oh, let me show you guys something. Let's go on a little adventure on our thing here, because I learned something this week, and I want to share that with you guys. Okay. So, how do I do this? Dakota, Holly. Okay. So I'll show you guys this. This is news to me, if you guys haven't followed along. Okay, so we're on the website, right? So these are the swap mounts. And somehow I didn't catch this, but when I was reading it, I did notice something. So if you look down here, I don't know if you guys, let me zoom this, maybe you guys can see it better. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, that's probably better. So it says over here, like, you know, some of the statistics for our features, I guess I should say. Let me just make sure you guys can see it okay. I think you guys should be able to see it pretty good. Sorry, I'm just messing with it. Okay, yeah, you guys should be able to see it. So, used with Gen 3 Hemi engines. So 03 up, 5.7, 6.1, 6.2. You guys already know this is the engine we have, the Hellcat. And it goes on to say, you know, no need for modifications to firewall or brake booster. Provides firewall clearance for short runner, blah, blah, blah. Tells you that you need a 99 to 04 brake booster, which the truck's a 99, so we're okay there. And then it says this. I didn't catch this, but I read it this week. And you need Hellcat. It'll fit a Hellcat supercharger, but with Hemi, you know, 0005 ERL intercooler manifold. So I didn't know that, and I'll show you guys that. So where is it? I don't know if it's here. Hold on, let's go here for a second. I don't think. Oh, here it is. So this thing, you guys. Yeah, I don't know that you guys are necessarily going to be messing with this, but this is a new product that just came out from Earl's. So this thing here, Earl's Gen 3 Hemi Supercharger Intercooler Manifold. So this is required so that we don't have to cut or do anything with the firewall. And it looks like this. Let me zoom it a bit bigger so you guys can see it. Ooh, whoa, 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 that's definitely big. Okay, so this goes on the back if you guys are aware or familiar. So this is the stock one. This goes on the back of the Hellcat supercharger, and you can see this piece here. So the reason why they make this is because see how this thing has this huge bulge that goes out here? Your firewall is going to be like, I don't know, my hands can't show you guys at the same time, but your firewall is going to be up against like the top of this area, like this part here. So where it bolts to the back of the supercharger. So this is like I think it's 2 inches shorter. Here you go, there's a good representation. So this here, whoa, where did it go? Yeah, so this is like pretty much almost it's like 1 point something. It's like 2 inches shorter, this manifold. So this gives us a little bit more clearance to the back of the engine for the firewall. So we need this part to clear the supercharger, the back of the engine from the firewall. So I didn't see that originally, but here's probably another picture. Yeah, so it goes on the back of the engine like this, so that you get a bit more clearance at the back here. So it's just another piece to this puzzle if you guys ever decide to tackle something like this. So I just want to make you guys aware of that. So one other thing is, let me see something actually kind of interesting. I wonder if we need this. Huh. I wonder if this fuel pump has to do with if it's Dakota specific or not. Upgrade the fuel pump to handle increased power of the Gen 3 Hemi. Choose from return list, or I wonder if this is specific for, oh, it is too. Interesting. That's kind of cool actually. I didn't know that these exist. So I guess they sell you complete fuel pumps so you don't have to mess with any of the stuff. So look, 98, that's pretty cool actually. 98 to 04 Dodge truck, 450 liter per hour fuel pump with the sending unit. It's just got it all hanging right there. That's actually pretty trick. Look at that. So it's got your fittings right on top. You know, outlets, it's got your return, and it's got the whole basket, the whole kit and caboodle. That's pretty cool. We'll see how I make out. I'll try to modify. Yeah, you can see here it fits 97 to 04 Dodge Dakota. I did not know this stuff. This is news to me, you guys. So we're finding stuff out together here. But that's pretty cool. So they have a drop-in basket and everything. I guess not a basket technically, but a hanger. So it'll hold your fuel pump and everything. That is pretty cool. Pretty cool that they have that. I wonder where the regulator would be though. That's the only thing. I'm sure they have an external regulator. Because if you guys know, the Dakota regulator is on the top here. But this obviously doesn't have it. I'm sure they probably have the accessories down here. There's a fuel filter, a bunch of fittings. Pretty trick. We'll see. I mean, that's definitely something we're going to have to look into sooner or later here. But let's see. Let's see. Oh. Let me get back to you guys in some of these comments here. Okay, where are we on the comments? Oh, here we go. Michael, watching your channel makes me miss my 95 Dakota. And now I'm rocking a 99 Durango. Oh, we already read your comments. Jerry said put V6 badges. Cam, Mighty Mouse, said both engines probably weigh about the same with accessories on the 360. Yeah, that's true. I guess some of the accessories on the 360 is probably pretty heavy too. The thing's a tank. Patrick, I just go with the stock look, but put Dakota 6.2 SRT. Yeah, I was thinking of just instead of like the 5.9, just changing it in the same font and putting like 6.2. Maybe just something subtle. We'll see. We'll see. Nathan, I have an old 92 Dakota with a 318 carbureted. Dang, that's pretty badass. Sad boy Cali, I have a 91 D350 with a 360. Kicking it old school. I like it. I like it. So we can hop back over here for a second. We'll take a look at this. So because we're finding out some new stuff. So technically you could run this in any, looks like any truck. Durango, Ram Charger. Yeah, I guess this is a drop-in fuel pump. I do have to make a decision at some point whether we're going to go return or returnless. If you guys don't know, the system that's on the Dakota from the factory, like even right now, without us thinking or talking about Hellcat's stuff, the fuel system is returnless. So what that means is you have your fuel pump. It has, like, once it picks up the fuel, sucks up the fuel of the tank, it has a regulator which regulates the pressure that goes to the line that feeds to the front of the truck, or whatever it happens to be. So you got a fuel pump, regulator, and it's restricting the amount of pressure that's going through the line that's running through the whole length of the truck and going up to your fuel rail. So it's regulating the pressure that's coming out of your tank, essentially, and going through that line and going to your fuel rail. And once it goes to your fuel rail, it sits in that fuel rail until your fuel injectors, fire and squirt out fuel, and then that's it. It's a one direction type of system. Whereas a return system, what it does is it pumps it all the way. Usually, the way guys will set it up, you have your fuel pump, you get your fuel line. It'll run all the way to where your fuel pressure or your fuel rail is. Sorry. And there will be a regulator that's usually either mounted on the fuel rail or it's mounted like right before the fuel rail. It regulates the pressure that's going into the rail. And then, hold on, let me back up for a second. It might actually, I think the regulators are actually on the return. So you'll have like a fuel pressure, a lot of guys will install fuel pressure gauge on the rail, but there's a regulator that's is keeping and holding the pressure in the fuel rail before it goes back to the tank. And one of the advantages of doing that is you won't starve certain cylinders for fuel pressure. If you guys don't know, I haven't researched it fully, but I've seen a few articles where guys with the Hellcat setup, I don't know if it's stock, might be a couple stock issues that happen, but when guys start turning up the power and it's a returnless system and the regulator is all the way in the tank, what happens is they'll start turning it up, making more power, demanding more fuel, and it'll starve a cylinder or two that's in the loop on that fuel rail because it's not holding pressure. And they're using more fuel than what the tank is pumping and what the stock regulator is sending. So whereas if you go with a return style fuel system, you have a regulator that's holding a certain pressure in your fuel rail so that you always have that pressure, and then it bleeds it off and sends it back to the tank. And so that always makes sure that, or tries to make sure that you have that fuel pressure in your rail at all times before it sends the excess fuel back to the tank. It's kind of the advantage, but the Dodge setup, like the Dakota right now with, from 99 or whatever, it has a returnless system. So the regulator's in the tank, it sends the fuel pressure, fuel to the line, and that's it. It never comes back. Same thing with the Hellcat setup. It has the same returnless setup. So fuel pressure regulators in the tank. Fuel line goes up. That fuel never comes back to the tank. But some guys are running into issues on high horsepower applications. So returnless system. So the fuel doesn't come back to the tank. That system does work. Obviously, it's designed with the Hellcat to, from the factory to operate that way. But if we start turning things up, I don't know whether to plan ahead and convert this thing to a return style system, off the get-go, or whether we should stick with the stock setup. If I do a return style system, I would probably have to get it. Well, I know for sure I'd have to get a different fuel rail that has the regulator restricting and holding the pressure in the rail before it sends it back. And you'd have to run two fuel lines. So you'd have to one from the tank all the way to the rail, and then a return line all the way back to dump back the excess fuel into the tank. That's the story, guys. That's the story. Let me jump back to you guys in the comments, see what you guys are saying. Patrick says, sleeper look, but power to kick butt. So, what do you guys think about the whole fuel rail consideration? Did you guys know that fuel pump existed? If you guys have been following along closely, you guys know that that the fuel pump that's came with our Hellcat setup is actually, you know, it's actually compromised. Like the basket or the holder is broken. The pump works, but everything that holds it is busted. So at one point in time, I was thinking about trying to put the Hellcat tank in the Dakota. I kind of wanted to put it where the spare tire went because I think it would be cool to have some weight behind the back tires or back wheels to help with traction. And I figured since the Hellcat tank is already all set up, I thought we'd make some straps, fab up some straps, and throw it up there. But I don't know. Seeing that drop-in fuel pump that right there from Holly, that might not be a bad option. Or we modify the stock pump or stock basket with that Hellcat pump. We already have. I think it might actually be okay though. We already have the AEM pump in there. The only thing is our feed line is too small. So the feed line that we have right now coming from the pump is considerably smaller than what the Hellcat one is. Because the Hellcat one's it's a pretty big size, the volume of fuel that it's demanding. But we're pushing a bigger pump through a smaller opening right now. Let's see. So Cam says, I put a return style system on the mini regulator and pressure rail isn't too much extra work. No, it's not. It's just a matter of getting all the lines and stuff. Cam also said, but since it's a truck and you have the garage lift, it wouldn't be too hard to upgrade later. Yeah, we'll see. Like, we got to get it running for sure, right? So I just know I don't think I can use the stock line is the issue. So the line that's on it right now, it's not going to hook up to the fuel rail for the Hellcat. It's like way too small. So I think I'm going to have to run a new line, and if I'm going to start running new lines, then it might as well be the right size. So we shall see. Michael, I built the return setup because 550 was the max on my 95 Dakota fuel system, and a turbo engine has a high demand at 450 and more horsepower. True. Mighty Mouse, let me know if you need my AN line building kit tools. Yes, I need your toolkit, and I'm never giving it back. Actually, Cam, do you want to help me with a little project? I was doing some research today. So, like I said, I have that other pumpkin for the Viper, so the other rear end, and I really want to put it back in the car, and I have the bearing kit for it. So I was looking today. It doesn't look that hard. I don't know if you messed with differentials before, but I really want to do it. So Cam, if you're up for it one of these days, let's put the new bearings and seals on the Viper differential. I already have the Viper differential out, so we can have it on the bench and rip it apart and put new bearings in it, set all the backlash and all that stuff. I think if we just use the original shims, it should go back together fairly easy. We just gotta replace the bearings and the seals on it and throw it back together. Because I want to put that diff back in it. Because, I mean, we got the Viper boosting and working pretty good, but if we put that rear differential in there with the 373s in there, she'll wake up like crazy. Let me know a day when you're down. We'll do that. Because I'm sure there's going to be a day here coming up shortly when we're working on the Hellcat setup, and we're probably going to be waiting for parts or waiting for something, and I think we could mess with the differential and putting the differential in the Viper, because that thing's gonna be a beast. Give me a beast. Plus boost season is here. Actually, if you guys don't know, there's drag racing. If you guys are in California, not this weekend, but next weekend, there's drag racing for $20 for the whole entire day. I think they start in the afternoon. They go up all night. It's at the airstrip, airfield. So if you guys haven't seen that, you guys probably watched my one video where I went to the race. I think since the Dakota is gonna be in pieces, I'm probably gonna take the Viper, just for fun. Take the Viper there, and we'll go play with some different cars. I don't know if traction will be an issue, but because there was like no prep last time, but it was still fun. It was $20, so I'll probably do that soon too. Cam says, buy a full set of shims just in case before we get into it. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some different ways to do it. So some guys will, since the backlash isn't an issue and we're not putting a new gear set in it, some guys will reuse the old crush washer or crush collar, and they'll just snug it back up to where it was. And technically speaking, it should be the same, but it's probably not the right way to do it. Most guys, like I have the crush washer and everything, and as soon as you start crushing it and everything, then everything gets all out of whack. So we shall see. We shall see. How long has this live been? You guys getting tired of the live? Is it getting late wherever you're at? An hour and a half. So yeah, probably start wrapping this one up, you guys. Like I said, we got a big announcement next week. Tomorrow we're working on Jason's truck. We're gonna try to get it wrapped up. And then we got a ton of work, so got a lot of stuff on the way, you guys. And I can't wait to get that motor in there. It's gonna be a lot of work, but once it's all said and done, it's gonna be definitely worth it. Michael, what strip? I got a bike I want to run in California. I'm in California high desert. I don't know if they let bikes run. I don't know if I saw any bikes, but it's a drag racing event. But yeah, I'll post it on my Instagram. I'll repost it so you guys can see it. But it's gonna do it for tonight's live stream, you guys. I gotta get some dinner. It's late here and I haven't eaten yet, so I'm starving. But thanks for tuning in. Drop a like before you guys take off. Would be appreciated. Thanks for your support so far, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. We'll do another upload tomorrow as well, but make sure you subscribe to both channels because I'm posting everywhere. So thanks, guys. See you on the next one. Have a good weekend.